Hi guys, how are you? Okay, so today we're going to be continuing our unit of ancient Egyptian art. And today what we're going to do is we're going to try to draw the god Anubis. So we've actually seen some of the work where there is a god with a head that looks like a dog. So this is one sculpture of it. And let's go see what else we can see. This is what we usually see, which is him standing, holding a staff with a body of a human being. Just his head is like a dog, and it actually looks like a jackal. But let's learn a little bit more about that. So, in ancient Greece, just so we're clear, they had the god Hades, which is the god of death, and just very similar is the god Anubis for ancient Egypt. And it says it's an Egyptian Coptic name, which is the Greek name of the god of death, mummification. It's entertaining the afterlife, cemetery. So remember that when we talked about the ancient Egyptians, we spoke about the importance of preparing for the afterlife. So it kind of makes sense that if they are preparing for the afterlife, not just the mummification process, also kind of having all those things that would belong to that person, that probably rich person, they want to also have somebody that's going to help them go to the afterlife. And so that's why we see probably a lot. Here's another image of him. So it looks like a jackal, and the dog's ears are pretty big. So let's try to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you my camera, my work. So again, it might not be perfect because we are, in fact, I'm doing it backwards, but we can see two ears. So let's start off with the starting point of those two ears over here. So they're a little bit long, like sort of not fully like a rabbit, but they're definitely on the long side. They're not flopping down. So I would start off with those two ears closely together. So it looks sort of like if you're doing a leaf. And then we have to go down. It's always worth looking back so that it goes a little bit kind of curved over there. And then we have a slightly long snout. Okay. The snout is obviously divided in two. We need the nose, right? And it's black. So you might not actually see all those details. Now, the ancient Egyptians also, so it's not like like dog eyes. They also have kind of those eyes that are long with the eye makeup. And in this case, it looks like the inside of the eye is gold. So just keep that in mind when you are coloring. The ear inside is like that nice brown gold. And in some cases, well, let's make sure that it's always having the long hair. Okay, and we talked that the ancient Egyptians used to use these really long kind of braid wigs. Before we do that, let's just continue that snout over here. And again, just like when we did the portraits, it's always kind of like the shoulders in the front. Right? And this I'm going to go a little lighter because I'm going to, okay, because we're going to cover that with hair. So you don't want to go too dark on that. And just like the other one, there's almost like there's hair going down up to here. And then the hair that is in the back. And they used to use these really cool wigs. If we're doing the braids, we are doing sort of like ovals to create that braid since right there. Again, necklaces are very popular and they're using that as well. So we should have this kind of, it's almost like an armor thing. And it's, I don't want you to just do like little lines, but just definitely do one. If we look closer, well, in this one, it looks sort of like, let me just try to zoom in. They're using the colors turquoise, gold, that dark red, and that kind of lapis blue. So we don't want to, when we are coloring our work, we want to make sure that we are not going to be using other colors like hot pink, orange, because those are not the colors that they're using. We want to kind of try to resemble it as close as possible. And it's kind of a high piece, so I'm just going to make this part a little longer just to try to create a little bit of variety. Okay, the whole face would be black, and to kind of make this, so because I'm doing it with a dark color pencil, you can't erase that, but ideally you would erase that little section right there, and you would make sure that you can see the lines over here, right? And the eyebrows, we're going to draw them not color them in. So you're making like that space so that you can be able to see that. So you can color the eyebrow the color yellowish gold, okay? And you're going to create that line as well, also in yellowish gold, because if it were black and the dog's face or Anubis face is black, you're not gonna get to see that, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and grab some color pencils. I'll put myself on pause really quickly while I do that and show you step by step as far as how you should start coloring it. Please hold on. Okay, so I'm back. So this is what I decided to do. I'm gonna go with color crayons. I have the thin crayons here, so I'm gonna go do that because it'll make it faster, the coloring process. And I have black and I have yellow for gold. And I also chose a dark blue color marker. Okay, so the thing that I thought is that just like if Superman has like kind of the blue streaks to kind of create the lines and sort of you can get the idea what the motion of the hair is going, that's the same thing that I'm gonna try to do. So let me just go ahead and show you what I mean. So we colored this initially, it's like brown. It's a brown color pencil. I'm gonna go over that with blue and I'm gonna go a little slightly thicker. You don't have to do this, but I think it kind of works because then that way you can see that there is a separation of things. And I'm gonna go ahead and just make those blue things. Now you could probably do it with maybe a black color marker if you're gonna go with color pencils and you're not gonna go super jet black, maybe that would work because then it would just show every little bit and you can kind of get an idea that it's not just a solid black. I'm gonna go ahead and outline the face with that blue. I already colored this. Now, remember that we're leaving this section clear. I'm not gonna outline that part. And I'm just gonna go ahead, just do a whole bunch of this very quickly. Obviously, if you're doing it, you would take your time. Now, when you're planning to color the whole section black, you want to first use the light color to color. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I already outlined it with a pencil and I'm going to outline that again because the eyeliner that we would typically see in black is gold in this creature, right? And the eyebrows as well, correct? So I'm doing that now. So when I color around it, this is not, I wouldn't recommend using regular crayons if they're not pointed like these because these kind of function just like a color pencil and it allows you to get into all those little tight corners and not mess up your drawing. So I'm just going ahead and coloring this black. As you can see, I'm going around it so I can still see that eyeliner that's right there, and I'm going to go around the eyebrows as well. Usually I want you to color in one direction, but for this, it doesn't make, it's not a problem if you color around it because you want to make sure that you are, in fact, outlining it properly. And then you could go ahead and color. And just because I have that either in blue, you could either do it in a, not maybe necessarily blue, you could do it in a black marker, but something that is definitely different, you can be able to see. Now I can see that I kind of messed up here because I didn't outline in black and that kind of, the neck is not supposed to go that low. It would ideally be higher, but that's okay. I can also fix that if I had another paper, I could just glue that on top, but I'm just gonna go with what I did. And I'm going to color the snout black, go a little darker where the nose is. Now he obviously needs eyes, so that has to be black as well, or as close to black. Again, the ears are brown, so I'm gonna go color that in on the little bit on the lighter side, and I can kind of go over it with a little bit of yellow, so I can create the color that I want. This part would be, of the ears would be black, and I can just go ahead and outline. Now, if you're gonna be using markers along with crayons, I would recommend that you use the marker first because it'll be harder to color once you have that marker on, once you have that crayon on top. So I'm just going ahead and doing that. I think this is almost about it for time. I'm gonna go try to do that super fast, but this is basically the gist of it. You wanna be able to design your necklace, obviously using some yellow for the gold, or if you have a gold crayon. I'm gonna just quickly color the hair. And just so that you can see how that's done. Again, this god is Anubis. We just want to understand different facets of the ancient Egyptians. And I think it's kind of pretty cool. Not that I really like the idea of a god of death, but I do definitely like the idea that there is sort of an animal slash human type of creature that I actually think is kind of beautiful and can also look a little scary sometimes. Anyway, that's it for now. Make sure that when you do yours, you make an elaborate necklace. You don't have to go that far, but at least do this part. This is the hair. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's informative. Have a good one, guys. Bye.